Welcome back to The Rebound, the show that wakes up the entrepreneur in all of us. Now, speaking of great entrepreneurs, let's meet a brand that has one of the most compelling stories in the fashion industry, one that goes way beyond just selling clothes.
Brands with purpose are the ones who thrive and have their stories spread, as is the case with Victorian Indigenous-owned social enterprise Clothing the Gaps. Owned by health professionals, their focus is to close the gap of life expectancy of Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians using your humble wardrobe. Well, I'm here today at Clothing the Gaps, and I've been joined by Sarah and Laura, who's a Gunditjmara woman. Thanks for having me. So why don't we start out with your story and your why?
So Clothing the Gaps is an Aboriginal owned and led social enterprise, and we unite people through fashion and a cause. We create merch with a meaning, conversation starters that create social change in the community.
Fantastic. So there's a bit of a difference with a for-profit business and a social enterprise. Why don't you tell us some of your thoughts on that?
As a social enterprise, we reinvest our profits back into the Clothing the Gaps Foundation, and the Clothing the Gaps Foundation exists to add years to Aboriginal people's lives. So every t-shirt, every scarf, beanie, hat that we move all goes back into our purpose, which is really exciting.
And it's not just selling, so you've got quite a big supply chain. We're out the back there and it's all done and made here.
Yeah, so we're an Ethical Clothing Australia accredited business, so we're the first Aboriginal business to have that accreditation. So we produce as much as we can locally in Melbourne, and then we ensure that every single piece of product that's made in Australia has that Ethical Clothing accreditation, which means everyone's really well looked after in the process.
Now I love that word, womanjika. Yeah. You got to tell me what it really is. Got a great story behind it.
Clothing the Gaps is based on Wurundjeri country, and this is a Wurrung word that means welcome and come with purpose.
Yeah, coming with purpose. Surely, that's what business should be about. There's got to be a reason why I love it. Now, the name I love, Clothing the Gaps, amazing. And you did have a little bit of a legal stoush.
Yeah, so when we first registered it, Gap let us know that they intended to oppose it. And then it wasn't long after that we actually got our cease and desist from WAM Clothing about the use of the Aboriginal flag and that whole copyright issue there as well. Right. So we actually chose to fight publicly and put all of our effort and attention into the Free the Flag campaign. And we just trusted the experts around, the trademark issue. And, it was a bit of a dark cloud that just kind of hung over us for 2 years. We didn't really know what we were going to be called, but now that we just really trusted that our community would come on board with us wherever we had to go with that. And now that we're rebranded, it's there's more than one Gap. There's lots of work to do. Yeah.
And so it's just added the S, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yep, sounds simple.
That's a good result. And you know what I love? It's a strong insight on knowing which battles to fight, right? And so on the flag, that was a battle that you saw worth fighting, whereas the other one you might negotiate and come to an outcome. That's really smart. And you do a lot of your business online, and Shopify as a platform, how has that helped?
We love Shopify. Like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, how did we go overnight? And before I go to bed, because our business is an online platform. We do have a shop, but all of our sales, the majority come through our online platform, and it allowed us to survive during COVID, during difficult times. So it's definitely helped us.
And with the expansion.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we've grown and shifted and changed the way that we do business as well, Shopify's really enabled us to do that really well. It's never held us back on any decision that we've wanted to make.
Thanks very much for having me. Be sure to check out clothingthegaps.com.au.